Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're new, a huge welcome to you. If you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back. I do bead subscription unboxings, I do tutorials, and once in a while I'll throw in some other content to keep it fresh. So if that's something you're interested in, please think about subscribing to my channel. I usually upload at least one video per week, sometimes two, depending on my schedule. And I have to say, guys, this is the highlight of my day. When I make a connection with you through YouTube, I absolutely love it. Now, the necklace and earrings that you saw in the intro were made with the beads that came in the Jessie James Beads Magical Mystery Bead Box for the month of February. And if you like to read books and you like a good murder mystery, this is the necklace and earring set for you because it was inspired by the Agatha Christie book, Murder on the Orient Express. And that was actually one of the bead mixes that came in the Magical Mystery Bead Box. And I gotta say, guys, I had a very difficult time picking the bead mix because they were all beautiful. I was going to go with the Anne of Green Gables bead mix initially, and then I changed my mind. And don't ask me why I changed my mind. Sometimes the beads talk to me. I'm serious about that. And no, I don't have a psychological problem. I'm just saying that whenever I look at beads, I get inspiration. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I'm sure this happens to a lot of people. And I haven't made this kind of necklace very much before. I've made choker necklaces, but I haven't made one with a heart and the swags of chain. So it's a little bit different than what I'm used to, but hopefully you'll like it. For some reason, I've been in a kind of romantic phase with my jewelry making. I've been doing a lot of beaded swags and chain swags lately. Maybe it's because Valentine's is right around the corner. I don't know. But anyway, guys, if you don't subscribe to that box, don't worry about it because you can still make this necklace. You're just going to have to find similar items from your stash or go online and see if you can find them on the internet somewhere. I will leave a detailed list of all the materials down below in the description section of this video. If you scroll down, you'll see something that says show more, and if you click on it, it expands. But it is a little difficult to find because it's not highlighted very much. Usually navigation text is either highlighted or underlined. But anyway, you will see that list down below, and I'm also going to leave timestamps in case you want to skip forward to any portion of the video. And if you're not familiar with the Magical Mystery Bead Box, I'll leave a link to the website down below as well. So without any further ado, let's go ahead, turn the camera around, and we'll get started. And here we have the Jessie James Beads Magical Mystery Bead Box. The name of this box is Book Club, and it came out in February 2023. Obviously, I've already done an unboxing video, and if you haven't seen that video, I'll link it down below. Let's go ahead and select the beads. Now, as much as I love these beautiful book lockets, we're not going to be using any of them today. Let me put them off to the side. I'm definitely going to be using this leather cord. This is flat leather cord. It's called literature cord, and the reason is that it has words along the side, as you can see. I think that's really neat. And I also love the beautiful neutral color. And of course, we'll have to use these end tips. These are cord end tips, and these are super easy to use because you just fold them and they crimp down on the leather cord. We're not going to be using this paper clip chain. And I had a difficult time selecting the beads for today's necklace because they're all beautiful. As you can see, there are 6 different collections. But the one that we're going to work on today is the Agatha Christie one. This one right here. This bead collection is called Murder on the Orient Express. And don't you love that they actually put a quote from the book right on the top of this container? I think that's so neat. But anyway, guys, these beads are absolutely stunning. I love the color combination. I love the red and the black and the gold. I'm not sure if those are the colors that Princess Dragomarov liked to wear, but I certainly love the combination of red and black. But anyway, guys, like I said, I will leave a link down below to the unboxing if you're curious about the rest of these collections. Every one of them is amazing. I really love how Jesse James Beads put these containers together. So let me put the charms back in here since we're not going to be using them. And we're not going to be using the paper clip chain either. And that's it from this box. We'll be using some chain today, and these links are pretty small. They're 2 by 3 millimeters. As you can see, it's in a gold color. We're going to be using some beading wire today. As you can see, I have 2 different gauges. I have 22 gauge and I have 26 gauge. And the reason one's Beadalon and the other one's artistic wire is because that's all I had. I'm not really that particular about the brand, but both of these are pretty good quality and I use these quite often. We're also going to be using some seed beads, and these are size 11/0 seed beads. They're round seed beads and the color is metallic dark bronze. But you can use any color. You can even use black if you want to, or red. And here I have some jump rings and a lobster claw clasp. The jump rings are 6 millimeters in size. And I think that's it. So now that we've gone over the materials, let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, I've cut myself a piece of leather, and this measures about 16 inches because I want it to be a choker style necklace, or I want it to sit at least at the collarbone. So you're going to have to decide how long you want your necklace. The other thing that I wanted to point out is that on my piece, the wording is actually on one side only. I'm not sure if you have the same thing. Yours may be a little different, but you want to make sure you check that. Another thing you can do with this leather is shape it. If you just run your fingers across it like this, it'll change the shape a little bit. Mine was a little bit curved. It'll probably soften up a little bit with time. So anyway, let me put this off to the side. And here's the container of beads. Of course, since Valentine's is right around the corner, I definitely want to use this heart. And I'm going to be using these flowers as well. Let me just pull them out. We're going to use about 3 of them. Let me find the third one. Here it is. I want to use this charm as well. I thought this charm was adorable, and I love that it has a little crystal in the middle. I think that's really cute. It's going to hang right below the heart like this. And I'm also going to be using some of these. I'll be using 2 for the necklace and another 2 for the earrings later on, but I'll pull those beads out when we get done with the necklace. And here are my seed beads. We're only going to use 3 of them. And here I have my 26 gauge wire. I cut myself 3 5-inch pieces. So the first thing we need to do is mark the leather cord. And the first thing I'm going to do is find the center. So I'm bringing the ends together like this. So that's my center. And as you can see, there's a seam right there. That's where you want to place the mark. That's going to be the bottom of my necklace. I'm using a Sharpie, and I'm simply going to put a little mark right there. Just like that. It doesn't have to be too heavy. And since it's black, it actually blends in with the writing on this leather. So now I need to place 2 more marks, 2 inches apart. So let me get my ruler. So this is the middle right there. And here's 2 inches from the middle. And here's another 2 inches from the middle. Hopefully I won't have any trouble seeing it later on. It really does blend in with that writing. You can barely notice it. So now we're going to get started. I'm going to take a piece of wire. So now we need to find the middle of this wire, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm going to use my pliers, and I'm going to grab the middle, just like this, and give it a bend. It doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'm going to thread a seed bead on. And I'm bringing that seed bead all the way down to where the bend is. And now I'm going to thread both ends of the wire through the flower. Just like that. Pretty easy. And now we're going to separate the wire. Just like that. I'm going to attach it to the leather cord. So let me find the center. It's right there. I'm going to place my flower right in the center. And you do want to hold on to it like this. You want to hold on to the flower and the leather cord. Make sure it stays in place. And now we're going to simply wrap the wire around the leather cord. And you don't want to go too tight. You definitely want to wrap it securely, but not super, super tight. So I'm going around a couple of times. Let me show you the back. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. You want to bring those wraps in as you do them. And check them to make sure they're nice and even. Let me go around again. This one too. And I think that's good enough. So now we're going to wrap these tails around the base of that flower. And I think I'm going to start with this one first. Using my flush cutters, I'm going to cut off the excess now. I'm going to use these pliers to get in there because these have skinny tips. I'm going to tuck in that little tail that I'm seeing right there. You don't want anything sharp. Let me bring those wraps in. So now we have to get rid of this tail. So once again, I'm going to grab it with my pliers and wrap it around. Let me cut off the excess and tuck it in. And that's all there is to it. It looks pretty neat in the back, as you can see, and it's pretty secure as well. So now we're going to move on to the next step. We're going to be sliding a jump ring underneath those wraps, which is why I said not to wrap them too tight. I have a 6mm jump ring. I'm going to open it up. And now we need to slide the jump ring underneath the wraps. So I'm going into the seam of the leather. You definitely want to take your time with this. Let me change pliers. I'm going to use my chain nose pliers. Let me see if I can get it done. It's a little bit challenging, and that's the reason I said not to wrap it too tightly. But there it is, it's coming out the other side. Finally. So now let me close it up. You want to make sure you close it really well. That looks pretty good. And now I'm going to slide that opening behind the wraps. Just like that, so you don't see the opening. By doing that, there's no chance that the loop of the pendant will slide through the gap. So that looks really cute. I love it. And it's going to make it real easy to connect the pendant. Now before I connect the pendant, I'm going to go ahead and attach these two, and I'm going to do it off camera to save time, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, I've attached the 3 flowers. Doesn't that look cute? I think it's adorable. Let me show you the back. As you can see, the wraps look pretty neat in the back. So I'm pretty happy with that. So now we're going to attach these dangles. I'll start with the center one. I have a piece of wire. This is the 22 gauge wire. I'm going to do a wrap loop, so I'm going to grab the wire about 1/3 of the way down, kink it, switch to this portion of the wire, like this. Take the tail, wrap it around the nose of my pliers, flip my pliers around, and continue to wrap that tail to the back, just like that. Now before I do the wraps, I need to attach it to that flower. So let me go ahead and open up the loop. I'm going to slide the jump ring inside the loop like this. And now I'm going to grab the loop with some skinny pliers. I'm going to grab the tail and I'm going to do a couple of wraps. Snip off the excess wire, tuck in the little tail, and I'm going to thread the heart on, just like that. And now I'm going to do another wrap loop at this end. So I'm going to grab the wire at the base of the bead, kink it, switch to this portion of the wire, take the tail, wrap it around the nose of my pliers, flip the pliers around, and continue to wrap to the back, just like that. Let me open it up a little bit. I'm going to slide this pendant on. Just like that. And now I'm going to do some wraps here. So let me grab that loop and grab the tail and do a couple of wraps. You can do as many wraps as you want to. You just want to make sure you cover up your wire. And now I'm going to snip off the excess wire, tuck in the little end, now one thing you need to make sure you do is to line up your loops. So I need to line up the loops of the heart. I'm going to grab this loop with some pliers, and I'm going to grab this loop with another set of pliers and turn them so that they're lined up, just like that. So this is what we have. Isn't it cute? I love it. I think it's adorable. Now these are really easy to connect because they have loops already. Let me go ahead and connect this one. You just need to open up the loop like that. And now I'm going to connect it to the jump ring. And now close up the loop again. So now that one's connected. And now let me do this one. So here's what we have so far. So now we need to attach the chain swags and the clasp. So let me go ahead and get those items. So here are all the items we're going to need to finish off the necklace. I have my cord end tips. I have 2 pieces of chain. I have my lobster claw clasp and 2 6mm jump rings. And I do have 4 tiny jump rings here that I forgot to mention in the beginning. I believe these are 3mm in size. They're pretty small. Let's go ahead and attach the chain first. I'm going to open up one of these jump rings. And I'm going to attach the end of the chain to the jump ring, like that. And now I'm going to attach it to this loop here. And it needs to be on this side of the dangle. So now that's connected, and now we need to connect this end to the focal pendant. So let me get another jump ring. Open it up. Let me close up the jump ring. So there's one swag attached. I think it looks really cute. And now I'm going to attach this one to this side the exact same way. Now tell me that's not adorable. I think it's super cute. So now we need to attach the cord end tips. I have some E6000 glue that I'm going to apply to the leather cord to give it more security. I'm going to use a toothpick. And you really don't need that much. I'm simply going to apply it to the end like this, a very small amount. And now let me take one of these cord end tips and I'm going to attach it to the end. Make sure it's centered, just like that. So now I'm going to use some pliers to crimp it down. It's a good idea to hold it from the back so it doesn't move. And now with my chain nose pliers, I'm going to crimp it down. Make sure that it bites down on that leather. I'm going to switch to my nylon coated pliers just to make sure I don't damage the metal. And that looks pretty secure. You probably don't even need the glue, but I always like to use it just to make sure that it's nice and secure. So now I'm going to attach this cord end to the other end of the leather, and I'm going to do it the exact same way. So let me go ahead and do that. As you can see, both ends are done. So now I'm going to attach the lobster claw clasp. I'm going to open up the jump ring, attach the clasp, and now I'm going to attach it to this end and close it. And now let me go ahead and attach this one. This end's just going to have a jump ring. And close it up. Of course, you could attach an extended chain if you wanted to. Now I just noticed something. That clasp isn't sitting very well there because of the orientation of the loops and the jump rings. So the way to fix that is to add another jump ring. And I'm glad I caught it because I didn't realize that before. These are just little problems that pop up from time to time. So let me undo this. I'm actually going to remove this jump ring now. And I think what I'll do is attach an extended chain. And it doesn't have to be a very long extended chain. Here's a piece of one that I had left over from another project. And here's a 5mm jump ring. I'm going to add a bead from the collection, and I think I'm going to add this red one. And I need to add a spacer bead to cover up that hole. And here's another one for the other side. And here I have a ball head pin and a size 8/0 seed bead. And the reason I need the size 8/0 seed bead is because I don't want the head pin to slide through that hole. So let me go ahead and load the seed bead. And then the spacer bead. See how that works? If I hadn't added that seed bead, the ball of the ball head pin would slide through the hole. And now this bead. And now the other spacer bead. Like that. And actually I think I'm going to add another seed bead to this end. Here's another seed bead for this end. I normally don't do such large embellishments on extended chains, but these are the beads that came in the collection, so I'm just going to go with it. So I'm going to grab the pin where the bead is, kink it, switch to this portion of the wire or the pin, and now I'm going to take the tail and wrap it around the nose of my pliers, flip the pliers around, and continue to wrap that tail to the back, just like that. And now I'm going to attach the extended chain to the loop. I'm simply going to slide the link right into the loop, like this. Grab the loop, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. Cut off the excess. And now I need to tuck this little tail in. So there's my extended chain. Let me open up this jump ring. Connect it to the extended chain. And now I'm going to attach it to the necklace, just like that, and close it up. This is actually a better option, especially if you're selling it or giving it away. So here's the adorable Agatha Christie black heart necklace. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Now it's not sitting very well on my mat because it's flat leather cord. Let me hold it so you can see. I think it looks super cute. And I am going to model it for you. But before I do, I want to make a pair of earrings real quick. And here are the materials for the earrings. As you can see, I've already made one. And this is super easy, guys. This piece of wire is 22 gauge. And I'm going to do a wrap loop. So I'm going to grab the wire like this, kink it, switch to this portion of the wire, take the tail, wrap it around the nose of my pliers, flip the pliers around, and continue to wrap to the back. Just like that. And now I'm going to grab the loop with my skinny pliers, and I'm going to grab the tail with another set and do a couple of wraps like I always do. Snip off the excess. Tuck in the little end if you see one. And now I'm going to thread a bead cap on. And now this beautiful faceted bead. I love the color of this bead. I think it's gorgeous. And now the other bead cap. I'm going to grab the wire at the top of the bead cap, line up the bottom loop, kink it, switch, take the tail, wrap it around the nose of my pliers, flip the pliers around, continue to wrap to the back, grab the loop with the skinny pliers, grab the tail, and do a couple of wraps. Snip off the excess, tuck the little tail in, and now I'm going to attach this round bead. So I'm going to open up the loop, and close it. And now I need to open up the loop of this ear wire hook. Attach the earring. and close it up. So here's a pair of earrings to match the choker necklace. I think they're super adorable. Let me go ahead and get the necklace. Well, here's the Agatha Christie black heart choker and earrings set, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Now I did make a little change off camera. I decided to drop these round dangles a little bit lower. So what I did is I added a jump ring below the flower. I think they hang a little bit better that way. And I arranged the choker like this so you can see it better, because as you know, the leather cord is a little stiff. But what I'd like to do now is put it on and show you what it looks like. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll see you in a few moments. Well, what do you think of this necklace? Isn't it cute? I would actually wear this necklace. I've made choker necklaces before, but I've never made one with swags. And because this has a heart, it's a perfect thing to wear for Valentine's as well. And I think there's a name for this style. I think it's called Steampunk. I'm not sure. Steampunk is like a fusion between science fiction, vintage, industrial, something like that. But anyway, guys, I had so much fun making this necklace. And can you envision other themes using leather cord? For example, for summertime, you can wrap some shells around the leather cord and have some other shells hanging down. I can think of all kinds of ways of using leather cord. Initially, when I first saw this leather cord, I was going to make a bracelet, but then I figured everybody else was going to make one, and so I wanted to do something different. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. I hope I've inspired you. I hope you can make your own choker necklace. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. And happy Valentine's Day. Bye.